So I'm going to talk about the state of the markets as I see it today. It's the 30th of August 2014. Okay, so starting with the French market, the CAC 40. This has risen up this past week, risen up strongly. So it's come up above its 50 MA, but has got some long way to go before it surpasses the high that it reached back in June. So things are looking brighter for the French market than they were a couple of weeks ago. Ditto the German market, rose up, but sort of gapped up, but hasn't risen strongly through the week. So fairly indecisive market there. Again, he couldn't really say whether this was a rising or a falling market at this stage. The Dow Jones average, so these are the biggest American companies, rose up this last week, not as much as the previous week, but failed to break through the high of the middle of July. So again, whether it's going further or not, who knows. Crude oil has risen up this week. Interestingly, crude oil is sort of bouncing up and down between these lines. There's a line of resistance and a line of support here. I think there's quite a strong argument for buying crude oil now, and somewhere up here selling it again, making the difference. So that might be a good trade to do. Setting a stop somewhere down here. So FTSE 100, ditto, has risen up but failed to make any new highs. But again, it's just a sort of stalled market. FTSE 250, interestingly, didn't do anything this week. It's above the average for the year, but has made a bit of a doji here. So this is where the open and the close are pretty much the same, and there's a long tail above it. So people that study the significance of individual candlesticks would suggest that this is a market that's due for a fall, and that kind of makes sense. It's kind of in a downward sloping market, but it is above the average for the year. You could argue this is a good point to short the 250 and see what happens. Set a stop up here somewhere, fairly tight stop, and see if you can get a good run downwards. I think, but I might try that. So FTSE 350 about the same. It just looks range bound. Really hasn't done much really since last summer. It's just sort of meandering along up and down, and every time it goes down, we think that the market's dying, and then every time it goes up, we think the market's rising. But the truth is, it's not going anywhere at the moment. Gold is doing the same. It's just weaving in a sort of increasingly tight range, and that suggests that it'll break out at some stage. What seems to happen apparently with these markets is people talk about this coiled spring effect, whereby in a range bound market, as the range tightens up, the spring is tightening, and the price will break sharply one way or sharply the other. It's often difficult to say which way it's going to go, but yeah, there we go. That's gold. Now the Nasdaq. So this is sort of tech stocks for the US have made a new high. So this is very much a rising market. The Nikkei, so the Japanese market, not doing much at all. A bit like the UK markets. Bonds are rising, so just a steady move upwards. So this has made a new high. This is the PIMCO bond fund. S&P 500. So again, this is the all the American stocks together. So new high. So again, this is, by any definition, this is a bull market. But yeah, interestingly, volume looks like it's dropping off a little bit. So it could be that the steam is running out of the S&P 500 rise. We'll see. I certainly myself, I wouldn't be shorting this market just yet, but there may come a time where it plunges down to earth. TR Property, I thought this was all going to head south, but didn't. And these past 3 weeks, it's risen, but again hasn't made a high hasn't risen up past the price that it made in June of this year. So, well, you know, who knows which way that's going to go. So that's property. Vanguard Total Bond Market ETF, so again a new high. So bonds are doing well. Yeah, there we go. So in summary, so the Americans seem to be doing well, Europeans seem to be range bound, bonds are doing well. That's it. Okay, so that's my summary of the markets on Saturday the 30th of August 2014. Have a great weekend.